Dick DeGuerin's done great in every case he ever tried. Good a scorecard as any lawyer anywhere, I would imagine, in America.
Of all the criminal lawyers that I've known in my career as a ranger, the man that I respect the most is Dick DeGuerin. One of the greatest friends I've ever had.
Had a wonderful friendship to this day. He's a real hero, big hero of mine. I guess the most honest man I've ever met.
That old saying about it's not the size of the man in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the man, applies in spades to Dick DeGuerin. I think when I first met Dick, he was still with the late, great Percy Foreman. My first take was, this must be one hell of a smart young lawyer. But Dick believes down in his id, in equal justice under the law, which is a great American ideal, but it's not always the reality.
I like his integrity, his honesty, but I'll tell you this much, you don't want to lie to Dick DeGuerin. I mean, if you do, you're in deep trouble. You're in bad trouble, because he knows what the truth is before you ever answer it. He is so tough in that courtroom, but he's an honest man. I'd rate him in the top criminal lawyers in the United States, and he may be the number one.
He's the kind of person that if you were in trouble and you wanted to pick a lawyer, he'd be at the top of the list.
He sees each person for that person. He doesn't think economic status. He doesn't think political position. He doesn't think place in the society. He thinks this is a person in trouble or potentially in trouble, or they wouldn't be here in front of me. He loves representing the underdog. He gives his best for everybody, but he loves it when it's the underdog.
It don't make any difference who you are or what you are. If you're the poorest fellow in the world or you're the richest fellow in the world, he's going to treat you the same. And that's qualities of a great man right there.
Took me on my case, and he did it for nothing. He didn't care about the money, he cared about me. I had already spent most all the money I had on these other lawyers, and I hadn't got anywhere but to plead guilty. I think that's how we hit off so good, because he's that way too. If you're not guilty, he'd rather go to court. He has fun up there.
There's not a better attorney on the face of this or any other planet in taking a case to the jury. And the reason Dick is so good at that is because he understands people, he has compassion for people, he loves people, relates to people. And you get him in front of a jury, they get a sense, you know what? This guy is one of us.
He didn't try to put on a dog and pony show, but he kept the jury on the edge of its seat. He was a great cross-examiner. He could get down into the most meticulous points. He wasn't scared of anything or anybody, including the judge, and he was knowledgeable enough about the law and enough of a gentleman that he didn't step over the line, but he pushed mighty close to it.
A lot of people who are as brilliant as Dick DeGuerin, sometimes as they go up in life, they either forget who they are or the bond is not so tight. That's not the case with Dick. He is the quintessential Texan. He can ride, rope, and shoot, and he knows a lot about horses.
He told me one time if he hadn't been a lawyer, he would have wanted to be a Texas Ranger. And he would have been a damn good one. You know, he'd have been a hell of one. It'd be a guy that you just couldn't beat, you know.
He has a deep love for the university and has remained acutely aware of what the university has meant to him. Dick understood when he was going there that it was a privilege to go. He knows that the University of Texas Law School was, when he went there, and has remained one of the premier law schools in the world.
The law school is a wonderful place to go because you meet the future leaders of Texas and the future lawyers that are going to shape the legal profession.
He's still going to always, until the day he dies, be the best defense lawyer there ever was. If I had to go back to back with somebody and take on the world, it'd be him, because he'll go for you.
I'm willing to bet more money than I can afford to lose that Dick DeGuerin will be trying cases as long as he can stand or as long as he can be wheeled in a wheelchair. He'd much rather wear out than rust out.